Word in 10, presented by thetruevine.net, with me, Matt Truman. Today's lesson is part 2, tithing. Good day, Bible thumpers. Good day, Christians. Good day, atheists. Good day, agnostics. Good day. The word in 10, you are in. Last time we left off at Hebrews 7 and 5. And what that was talking about is who was supposed to accept the tithe. Read with me. And verily, they that are of the sons of Levi, who receiveth the office of the priesthood, have a commandment to take tithes of the people according to the law, that is, of the brethren, through they come out of the loins of Abraham. The Levi were supposed to accept the tithes. No one else were accepting tithes. The Levi gave 10% of what they took in. The Levi didn't have an inheritance. Read that. Study on that. Okay? Now, when did it come about for money to be taken? Well, we learned that back in Deuteronomy. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 14 and 24. We're going to read it through 25. And it talks about where tithes and money go. And we read, and if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Lord thy God shall choose to set his name there, when the Lord thy God hath blessed thee, then shalt thou turn it into what? Money. And bind up the money in thine hand, and shalt go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose. So, only when it's too much to carry, it's too much to take, I cannot take this load of corn, this wine, this oil, miles and miles and miles to where the Levite are to give it to them. So what I'll do is I'll sell it. I'll gather up some money. I'll put it in my hand. I'll roll up to where the Levi's are at. I'll hand it to them, and that's good. That was that's part of the commandment. We're talking old law here. Okay, but nowadays you just take the money. You don't even worry about the corn. Well, there's food pantries, but is that considered part of your tithe? If you donate, a lot of times, some churches I've went to, they do the offering. Then they do the food pantry. And none of that's, it's not part of your 10%, is it? The food pantry. Well, this can of corn costs $1.24. Or 68 cents if you get the store brand. Deduct that from my 10%. No, it's not going to happen. God spoke a lot of times and taught in parables. To teach the new law with the old law. For instance, go over to Luke chapter 18. This was thrown at me one time. Chapter 18, verse 12. I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess. So, someone told me, hey, that right there is saying, it's in red. Jesus said, fast twice a week and give tithes of all that I possess. All that you possess, give your tithes. Well, if you actually read it, go up to verse 6 and read down through verse 14. And it explains what Jesus is actually talking about. And the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge saith. And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? And he spake this parable unto certain which trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. And then Jesus went on to say, in verse 10, 2 men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee, the other a publican. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, God, I thank thee that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as the publican. I fast. This is where that verse comes in. I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess. And the publican, standing afar off, would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to the house justified rather than the other. For every one that exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. So right there, for me, it explained what that Luke 18 and 12 really was. It was part of the parable teaching about 2 people, one that is a humble man and one that is a person out for themselves. It's you have to read, you have to get in the book to learn more and more and more. Don't take my word for it. Get in the book. What all this reminds me of is I don't want you to be deceived. I don't want people telling you, oh, if you don't tithe, you're gonna go to hell. There's more to the Bible than spending money at a mega church, which I'm not knocking the mega churches. I'm not knocking any church. If it's a house of God, it's what I'm all about. But if somebody's telling you got to give money or you're going to go to hell, that's ridiculous. I'm tired of hearing that. But it doesn't matter what I'm tired of hearing. But what it all reminds me, go to Galatians, if you would please. Go to Galatians 6 and 7. Because I just want to end it with this. Okay? Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whosoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So whatever you're doing, it's going to come back. If you do good works, you're going to feel and receive good works back. Okay? You're not saved through your works, but it's a part of being a Christian, right? For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. If you work for what's in this world, you're dead. You're dead in sin. But if you work for the Spirit, for God, and do what the Word tells you, you'll reap life everlasting. Visit us at thetruevine.net. We have Fleecing the Flock. It describes all this. We love you. God loves you more. And I appreciate you watching the video. We'll keep them coming out. Next week we're gonna go into a little bit about anger. Visit us on Twitter for the daily Bible verse we put out every morning. Stay tuned for next week. Anger.